Canada is going to get back on track? You know, I really doubt.
The banking layoffs continue here in Canada.
I don't know if you guys saw, but CN is laying off 400 of their management staff. And
Thompson River University is preparing for layoffs following intense financial difficulties.
And when people are laid off, unfortunately, they are left on a burner and they are not able to pay their bills.
Our economy is shrinking. We have a lot of layoffs happening.
Can we talk about how Canada's job market is absolutely cooked?
What the job market is really like in 2025 in Ontario. And let me tell you, it's brutal.
So Scotiabank just laid off a bunch of people, and Nestea is also laying a bunch of people off too.
Unemployment sucks. It's at ultimate high levels, and it's not going to change anytime soon.
2,500 jobs are being cut at the Scotia Bank.
Welcome back to CanadianRant, the channel where we speak the truth no one else dares to say out loud. Now, let's talk about what's happening to our jobs. Across Canada, from Toronto's skyscrapers to Alberta's oil towns, Canadians are bleeding jobs. It's not just layoffs anymore. It's entire industries crumbling, one after another. Factories closing, tech companies cutting staff, construction projects frozen. Even once secure public sector positions are being trimmed in silence. The worst part? Most of these jobs aren't coming back. We've watched manufacturing vanish to cheaper markets. Energy jobs wiped out by politics. Small businesses suffocated by taxes and costs. And now, even corporate giants are downsizing because consumers are broke, spending less, and losing faith. People who worked 10, 15, even 20 years are being told, "We're restructuring." A corporate phrase that really means you're disposable. The Canadian dream used to be simple. Work hard, buy a home, raise a family. But that dream is disappearing along with our paychecks. So today, we're asking the real question. If the jobs are gone, the homes are unaffordable, and the future is uncertain, what's left for the average Canadian to hold on to?
The banking layoffs continue here in Canada. I talked earlier this week about Scotiabank and EQ Bank having to lay off their staff members. It looks like now TD Banks, it's their turn. They've got to shed 2% of their staff, their workforce. That equates to about 2,000 staff members that are going to be let go shortly. What does that mean? That's their effort. That is TD Bank trying to save $650 million to their bottom line. I feel like I'm only on TikTok talking about all these layoffs. It is a sign of what is happening in Canada, how trade policies, economic policies, foreign policies have really impacted our ability to navigate what is happening in the States, everything that's happening around the world. We just have not done a good enough job. And I think as Canadians, we're paying for it.
Okay, I decided I'm going to do a short little series while I'm job hunting of what the job market is really like in 2025 in Ontario. And let me tell you, it's brutal. Literally, I applied for this job and I got a rejection letter immediately because I didn't have a 4-year business degree in business administration. I could not work at the car rental agency. Mind you, it was for a manager in training position. But it gets worse because today, I got from the recruitment agency a bunch of job postings, and this one made me laugh. It said, it includes a 4% vacation pay. By law, you need to give minimum 4% for anyone who's worked at your business under 5 years. Stay tuned for part 2.
So Scotiabank just laid off a bunch of people, and Nestea is also laying a bunch of people off too. AHS just laid off a bunch of people. This happened a while ago, but Imperial also laid off a bunch of people. So as a job seeker, me right now, it's not looking too hot if I'm going to be competing with all these people, especially considering that I'm a generalist. There's an irony of being jobless because, yeah, I want to upskill, but I don't have any money. So it's either YouTube for free or nothing in terms of like upskilling. But yeah, it's not a good time to be Canadian Calgarian without a job. Calgary is getting colder and the job market is getting colder too. So I just had a bowl of Chinese beef noodles to warm my soul up. Good luck to Canadians.
Seems that the Bank of Canada is not immune to layoffs. 10% of its work staff is being laid off. I thought you'd enjoy this one. There you have it.
Bank of Canada says that they're not going to cut anymore. They're done for the year. They're done for the foreseeable future. I don't believe that. And here's why. Unemployment sucks. It's at ultimate high levels, and it's not going to change anytime soon because guess what? Private sector doesn't know what's going on with policy. They're not hiring. They're not growing. They're on hold. And if the private sector isn't hiring, who's hiring if even the government and in public service they're firing? Here's my prediction. Expect unemployment to continue to increase and economic output to further decrease. We might wind up in a depression as a result, and it's not going to look too good. What do you think the Bank of Canada is going to do? Just sit back and wait while the whole economy just plummets further and further down? No, of course they're going to continue to cut. They don't have a choice. Love to hear if you agree with me or disagree.
The unemployment rate in Canada trickled down to 6.9%. So it was 7%, 7.1%, and it trickled down to 6.9%. And the news sources are showing that 67,000 jobs were added in October. Wow, Canadian economy is back on track. Yeah, there we go, Trump. We can create our own jobs. What they're not telling you is that most of them are part-time jobs. Okay? Majority of those job gains are part-time jobs. So yeah, we're still not out of the woods yet. For people saying that Canada is going to get back on track, I really doubt sometimes the critical thinking ability of people when they say that Canada's unemployment rate is just 6.9%, it'll get better. No, it doesn't look like it's going to get better. Part-time jobs are not real job gains, and Canada is in for more pain.
If you're Canadian, you probably want to hear this too. 2,500 jobs are being cut at the Scotia Bank. And you think it's because of dying profits? But here's where it gets really nice. They made $2.53 billion in the last quarter, ending in July. And in the same time last year, they made $1.9 billion. They're in the billions, but yet they are eliminating 2,500 jobs throughout Canada, not because the people weren't needed, it's because they want more profit. There you have it.
Don't let the Canadian government distract you from the truth, because they just came out with the September job numbers, right? And they are, to much fanfare, yelling to the top of their lungs how good they are. Canada added 60,400 new jobs in September. Take a second. Round of applause. Except for when you really start digging into it.
Let me guess. Mostly government jobs.
How did you know? How did you know?
Canada.
And I looked at it and I realized that in July and in August we had lost 100,000 jobs. so for a quarter we're actually still down 40,000 jobs, but maybe we're on the up and up. So let's be positive. We're on the up and up. Let's look at the jobs. Public sector jobs accounted for about 51% of those 60,000. That's 31,000 jobs. While private sector jobs were only 36% or 22,000. The rest, the balance, being self-employment. The thing though is that unemployment rate held steady at 7.1%, which is a multi-year high right now. So there's a few points, like let's analyze this, right? Public sector jobs are not productive jobs for the economy. It's not, it's like the housing market. We invest all our money in the housing market. It's not a productive sector in the fucking economy, right? And this is something that I found, thanks to Grok, and this blew my mind. It takes on average 1.5 to 4.5 private sector workers in order to sustain the pay of one government worker. One. So right now, to give you an idea, we've added 31,000 government jobs and only 22,000 private sector jobs. That means that the ratio is so fucking skewed.
Can we talk about how Canada's job market is absolutely cooked? I swear, every week I see more mass layoffs. I'm sure you've seen it. Scotiabank just dropped another round of mass layoffs. People in Toronto, tech, even middle management. And Scotiabank isn't only the big five bank doing this. It was just months ago where we saw TD drop 2% of their workforce. And I'm sure you've seen Stellantis as well. They moved Jeep Compass production from Brampton all the way to Illinois. That's approximately 3,000 Canadian jobs gone in an instance. I mean, need I say more? Hudson's Bay, sure you heard it, bankrupt, 8,000 Canadian jobs gone. Well, how about tech? Well, Ericsson just laid off over 100 jobs in Canada. Banking's cutting, manufacturing's cutting, retail's cutting, and even tech's cutting. This is exactly why I preach saving and investing so much, because our economy in the Greater Toronto Area is just not stable. It is simply up to you to take matters in your own hand to survive this economic turbulence. So if you're new here, drop a follow and get educated on financial literacy. It's very important.
We are bleeding jobs here in Canada, and we have our Prime Minister on a world-worn tour out in Korea shopping for submarines, looking to decide whether he's going to place an order because we have to retire our subs by 2035. And I have nothing against Korea because I love Korean skincare, but let's be serious. Our economy is shrinking. We have a lot of layoffs happening. You would think that growing a manufacturing base here, strengthening our economy would be key, fundamental to having a very strong nation. I don't know, guys. It just is not great.
October usually means a lot of things for universities. Midterm season, Thanksgiving break, but not usually layoffs. Thompson River University is preparing for layoffs following intense financial difficulties. Part of these financial issues stem from the sharp drop in enrollment numbers from international students. The president of TRU, Dr. Arini, says that the number of international students on their campus has dropped 26% overall. The amount of first-year international students has declined by 53%. Combined with structural cost pressures, this decline is expected to put the university in up to a $30 million deficit by 2028. When you hear that, the layoffs don't come as a surprise. Up to 40 people are expected to be impacted. TRU is also canceling or deferring non-essential capital projects. What do you think about this situation, and what should TRU do?
Did you know Canada has experienced a lot of layoff this year? Did you know a lot of companies have closed their doors, leaving a lot of people with little to nothing? Did you know that most Canadians only depend on one stream of income? And when people are laid off, unfortunately, they are left on a burner and they are not able to pay their bills. Do not be like most people in Canada who only depend on one stream of income. You can be able to learn how to use your social media in order to make money. You can be able to use your phone and turn it into a money-making machine. We have partnered with a company that has allowed us to make money from the comfort of our homes and that is paying us very well. If I can do it, you can do it. We have people of all ages who are doing the same thing and they're able to make money from the comfort of their homes. You will see that once you join, a lot of people, even retired people, are doing this. It does not require any past experience in order to do this. All you need to do is use your phone and make an income from the comfort of your home. Do not be left outside in the cold with no income.
Hundreds of General Motors employees are protesting today outside auto plants in Ontario, raising concerns about job security and plant operations. The protest is organized by unionized GM workers who are worried about potential plant closures, production cuts, and layoffs. One of the main concerns is the Cami assembly plant in Ingersoll, which could see reduced shifts or changes in operations. Workers say they want GM and government to take actions to protect jobs and keep local investment and ensure the plant continues running. The timing of the protest is meant to draw public attention and pressure both the GM and the officials to address these concerns. This protest highlights growing tensions in Canada's auto sector as workers fight to secure their future in the industry. Follow for more updates and news.
Just want to ask everyone this question. With all the layoffs that have been happening in 2025, what does the future look like for any kind of employment? I mean, Amazon recently laid off 14,000 workers, and there's about 170,000 jobs. I read this somewhere, 170,000 jobs that have been lost in the United States this year alone. I think we should call 2025 the year of layoffs. It's just been insane, the amount of layoffs, and North America in general and the rest of the world is being affected by this, but we know that the US market has been bleeding jobs. Canada's been suffering because of a lot of this, and I think it's going to be hard for anyone to find any kind of job in this climate. It's harder for younger people. I feel for them. I feel bad for them. It's hard for people that are not happy with their jobs and they want to change jobs or maybe grow. So layoffs continue to bleed due to AI, tariffs, geopolitical differences. Yeah.
Seems that the Bank of Canada is not immune to layoffs. 10% of its work staff is being laid off. I thought you'd enjoy this one. There you have it.
Did you guys hear this news? So GM Motors has actually confirmed that they are closing their Ontario plant program up here in Canada. And I honestly think that this is more than a business deal, man. It's actually a wake-up call for Canada. Now, let's talk about the reality behind this decision. The truth behind this is that close to 1,200 people will be out of job. Close to 1,200 people will be laid off, on top of the skyrocketing unemployment rate that we already have currently here in Canada. That's not good. In my own personal opinion, I think that we were used as a test subject. They invested so much money into a product that we are not ready for at this moment. I'm not saying that EV program and electric vehicle, that kind of stuff is not gonna take over the future. I'm not saying any of that. We already see that it's doing a good job in China, but right now, the way our infrastructure is set up, I don't think we're ready for that yet. So I don't think that they was ever gonna get that type of contract, in the States. So they came here to Canada and we give it to them. And if it doesn't work out, unfortunately, the people that has to pay for it are Canadian workers, because they can just shut the door like they're doing right now and they're going back, right? And now that just left a dent into our economy. What do we do now? And this is the reason why I'm saying that this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call for Canada to start spending money on Canadian businesses, Canadian companies, Canadian small businesses, Canadian entrepreneur, all that. And obviously we're going to have people that's going to start pointing fingers, that has been pointing fingers and saying that DJT is the reason we're not successful. I don't agree. I think that this is a weak mindset. It's a weak play. I think that we have the resources at home, to make it happen. We're just not doing it, and like obviously the 100% tariff that was added to us not too long ago is a problem. The trade agreement deal that has been canceled, that's a problem. So what's next? That literally forces us into a corner to start spending money at home. And we haven't been doing that for a while now. So, and keep in mind, Doug Ford, he spent $75 million on an ad to run it in the US. Come on, bro,
I don't know if you guys saw, but CN is laying off 400 of their management staff in another corporate layoff in what seems to be the year of mass layoffs in Canada 2025. Just another one of the Liberal election promises that have once again broken. Carney and the Liberals ran on a promise of protecting jobs, building at a speed we've never seen in generations before, getting us a deal with the Americans. What have we seen since Carney has taken office? Precisely almost nothing. He set up a few offices, he's set up a few new bureaucracies, but that was to be expected. We knew that was coming with the Liberals. What is truly disappointing is to see the people he made promises to, auto workers, steel workers, lumber, people working in softwood and lumber. It's really unfortunate to see these people losing their jobs. We're seeing transportation. I talked about CN at the start of the video. That's truly unfortunate. We're seeing so much job loss, and it's truly demoralizing for a lot of Canadians. Innovative had some really great data out this week. They had another poll question. Essentially, the idea was, or the statement was, every year I work harder and every year I fall more and more behind, or I don't get ahead. And I think it was 70% of Canadians agreed with that. The real question is, when will Canadians start to tie personal and financial hardship to political policy and political vision? Because at the end of the day, the direction that the Liberals have taken us over the last 10 years has brought us to where we are today. Carney positioned himself as a master negotiator, a man with the plan. He's going to get the best deal. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He has done none of that. He's done the opposite. We don't have a deal with these. Tariffs have gone up in areas. We don't have any tariff relief from China. We have new tariffs being imposed from India. We're facing pressure all over the place. Now, some of this has been seen before. We have dealt with this before. But I think what people need to realize is that they have made a mistake voting in the Liberals once again. I'm not sure if people were fooled by the new face of Mark Carney or the rose-colored glass messaging that they ran on in the campaign, but we have once again seen that this is the same old Liberal government, a lot of the same people in cabinet. It's really unfortunate to see it once again. Canada needs a new vision. We need to be taken in a new direction. I hate saying this, but the idea of putting Canadians first and Canada as a country first is really important to me. As a young father, I have a young family. I think about the future a lot. I'm young. I think about my future. I think about my family's future and how important it is that we do the right things now to set up future generations so they don't have to go through what we are going through right now. It's fascinating. The Liberals ran on a plan of having the fastest growing economy in the G7, building at a speed we've never seen in generations. They've done nothing. Sure, we have a few new offices, a few new bureaucracies, but that was to be expected. We've seen nothing actually happen. We need action and a plan, which is what they promised. They have not delivered either of that. We don't even have a budget, and it's going to be November tomorrow. It's time for the Canadians, the youth in Canada, which I think is starting to wake up, to come around and really start pushing to put Canadians first for a change. The Conservatives ran on that messaging in the election. It still rings true. Now with cost of living, inflation becoming the true forefront, and the idea of the big bags and Trump kind of falling down the totem pole a bit, I think we can come to it. I really hope we can right our wrong, guys. Hopefully we get a chance this fall, this winter to do it. And I hope you guys support that.
You see, what's happening right now isn't just an economic issue. It's a national crisis of identity. We built this country on work ethic. Miners in Sudbury, oil workers in Alberta, farmers in Saskatchewan, and factory workers in Ontario. These weren't just jobs, they were foundations of communities. When those jobs die, entire towns die with them. You drive through rural Canada today, and you'll see boarded up shops, empty gas stations, and homes for sale that never sell. Behind every for lease sign, there's a family that gave up because the system gave up on them first. And yet, the people in charge, the ones sitting in Ottawa or on Bay Street, keep telling us to adapt. They talk about a new economy. But adapt to what? Poverty? Gig work? 2 or 3 jobs just to survive? We were told globalization would create opportunity. It created unemployment. We were told immigration would fill the gaps. It filled the job market with cheap labor while citizens got priced out. We were told higher education would be the answer. Now graduates are serving coffee with $100,000 in debt. Canadians are losing their sense of purpose. And when people lose purpose, they lose hope. That's where we are right now, on the edge of hopelessness. But it doesn't have to end like this. We need to start valuing workers again, supporting industries that keep this country running, holding leaders accountable when they, trade away our jobs for political gain. And we, the people, must start talking about this before it's too late. So if you've lost your job, if you're struggling to find work, or if you simply feel like Canada has forgotten you, know this. You are not alone. Drop your story in the comments. Tell me what's happening where you live. And if this message hit home, share this video, because silence helps no one, but awareness can spark change. This is Canadian Rant, and I'll keep saying what others won't, because the truth still matters.